You practice at all?
Yeah,
Okay, how'd you do?
pretty good. I went up to the range last night.
Where at? So?
No, down in Plains.
Oh, Plains? And you did pretty good?
Yeah. My irons, I couldn't hit my driver at all though.
Okay, I want you to take a couple minutes and explain to me what we worked on.
Okay. Worked on less movement in the lower body. Trying to keep my hands in front of the ball.
Okay, show me, tell me, examples, go ahead.
Setting up, trying to keep my hands in front of the ball.
Okay, very good, very good.
On hook. And then, not be my hips back.
Okay,
Which I
don't do,
finished a little.
right, don't practice anything bad. I understand, just tell me as you do it.
Okay. And just, not really move my lower body in the back swing and just finish
Good.
straight.
So restricted lower body on the back swing. This is gonna build a quit.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Let me see this one. Did I use David Frost on your tape at all? Anybody on your tape? Did I put a pro on your tape?
No.
All right. Try it. Is there something I'm thinking I want to do and I just wonder if I did it? Okay. Come on over here. Usually I'd have you stand there, but keep you busted. Okay. Icon over the wall, which puts a line on the screen. It shows me where you're playing the ball in relation to your feet and in relation to your head and shoulders. Here you can see you're playing this 5-iron off, let's say you're here, left here, and somewhere toward the middle of your stance. Over here what I've done is I've drawn 2 lines which outline or delineate the swing plane. In other words, the golf club, which is right here, of a really good player will travel somewhere in the space provided between the 2 lines, all the way through the golf swing. It'll come up and back all the way in there. It won't come under here and it won't come out here, right? So with that in mind, let's watch and see what you do when you swing a golf ball. Okay, I'm gonna track it. Okay, so here's what I'm learning. When you swing the club, you take it back kind of outside, you kind of loop around, stay outside, come back in, and then you get back inside, only because that's where the ball is, the tail end of the swing. So your whole swing is spent out here over the top of what we would consider to be the swing plane. You understand anything about the swing plane? You ever hear that word before?
Yeah, right.
But you don't really know what it means?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a slot that, as I said, the club should travel in. The club should be traveling inside that slot, and your club spends all of its time outside, over the top of that slot. So we gotta get your club more geared toward the slot, alright? Okay, before I say anything else, let me see you hit your driver.
Okay.
Seems like a pretty decent swing, let's take a look at it. Okay, same thing. Here I'm seeing you're playing the ball on the left edge, the edge of your left shoulder, and inside the shoe, and here you know what we're looking for, so let's take a look.
Driver's a little better.
You should hit the driver pretty good. Why weren't you hitting it? What was it doing?
It just wasn't going anywhere. It was going, I don't know, it was just diving and looking real bad. Just like it was just, I didn't hit a single good shot for my time.
Who taught you that driver position? To play the ball that far forward? Sella? Where'd you learn that?
Yeah, him and just, I've been doing that for a while.
Who taught it to you? I don't learn to do that.
No one really taught that, I just kind of heard it, read about it,
Okay.
just the way it's always been.
Because that position is not bad. Okay. Here's something that we're gonna change. Here's parallel. Here's where you are. Alright, you're way past parallel. I don't want you to go past parallel. Nothing else, I want you to go a little like on that angle, a little short of parallel. I can't put it on there actually because I have these markings up here. But if this is parallel, the golf club, and here's where you are, here's where I want you to be. I want you to be just a hair short of parallel. Alright, so you're way past where I want you to be, which is why you're not hitting the ball. It's too inconsistent from that position. Alright? Your hand position's not good either. Change that. Go ahead, hit another one. One more. Okay, come on over here. Okay, this is David Frost. He's a tour player from South Africa. He's a great swing. I love his swing. And he could certainly have a better short game, but he's a great golfer. I want you to watch his club in that slot. Okay, you're going to see that his driver is right in that slot. And your driver's in that slot too. Now here's something that you do real well, so does Frost. Alright, you'll see there's his club face. And it perfectly matches the position of his left forearm. So kind of, you want to just say it like this. His club face and his forearm are both facing the sun. You know, they're both like that. Well, in his case, his left forearm. It's kind of like that, and his club face is like that. So they're both matching, right? Very few people do that. That's really good. That's excellent, and you do that real well. The consequence is that you're able to drop it in the slot. Probably not as good as Frost, but he's right on the bottom line. But you're pretty close to it. I mean, that's really good. I wouldn't spend too much more time working on that. That's good stuff. All right, so you're doing that right. Show you from another angle. Okay, here's Frost from the front angle. If I put this line on Frost, you'll see that his ball is played just a hair outside further than yours, but your ball position I don't have a gripe with. I think you're probably victimized because I think your foot's probably too wide. Frost has his foot right on the edge of his right shoulder, and yours is probably out here a little bit more. So you're probably a little too wide of the right foot. All right? Okay, here's the top of Frost's backswing. Top of his backswing, he has that angle right like I want it. Right? Here's parallel. Oh, hang on, it's not parallel. Here's parallel. Right there. There's Frost, there's Parallel, here's Mike. Alright? This is terrible. This is killing you. Right now. You're not getting anything out of this. You think you're getting distance out of this. You're getting shit out of this. There's nothing coming out of this. This is death. All that's coming out of this is 89, 93. That's what comes out of this. Out of here, up here, 77, 75, 78. Right? That is parallel. That is good scores. This is horrible. Right? That's what your problem is. Now, that's point number one. Point number two is, here's your head. Frost's head. Here's Frost's hands. Here's Mike's hands. Behind your head. Because you're past parallel. Alright? So, let me make a point to you. Usually I'll teach people how to find the ball position from this point. But you have a pretty decent ball position if you're driving. Your ball's nice and forward if you're driving. So I'm going to let yours alone. The one thing that I don't like is I think your right leg is too far. So let's just bring it in, narrow it in just a bit. Alright? And that's going to position the ball nice and forward in your stance. Now if you look at your screen right there, hang on a second. Okay, I'll set up and I'll just drop my foot back here and I'll find the natural ball position. And right now on that screen, I should be in a position where the line should be right about out of here. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, that's one thing we're going to notice. The next thing you're going to notice is that my shoulder, my right shoulder is lower than my left shoulder. Is it on that screen?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, here's parallel. Here's where I want it. Alright? So, how I get it there is when I'm stepping back, I kind of just have a little spine angle to the right. Now, you have a decent spine angle to the right yourself. Alright? Now, why am I telling you things that you're doing right? Because I tell people what they do right, because I don't want them to change. Alright? So next time you're hitting balls bad, I don't want you to take the driver and all of a sudden move it into here. That's not the answer. Your driver position is fine. Your shoulder and spine angle needs to be tipped to the right. That's not the problem. Alright? So you leave that alone. Okay? Now, so when you're swinging the club, you're getting yourself in a position where your club ends up like this. Alright? Now John Daly does this, and you might be able to cite maybe another player in the world or two that do that. But the vast majority of touring pros will stop like that. Butch Harmon and Tiger Woods spent 18 months stopping in this position from this position. So he was here. He worked 18 months to stop him here. 18 months with the greatest player in the world to stop him here. Now, why do you think they did that? Why do you think they stopped? They went. Just give me your best guess. Why would they go from here to here? Why would they spend 18 months doing that? You have any idea?
It helps accuracy.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Accuracy. Greater percentage of center face contact. The name of this game, Mike, the way you're going to learn it, the name of this game is center face contact. Hey, Mikey, I know you're busy, but there's a young man out here that I want you to meet because you're going to be working with him. And he's here right now. And if you could just spend less than 5 minutes with us, in the middle of your study, and I appreciate it. Just so you get to know him, he needs to get familiar with you, okay?
Yeah, I'll be right out.
Okay. Name this game is center face contact. The more often you hit the ball in the center of the club face, the greater player you're going to be. All right? How are we going to make you a great player? How are we going to make Mike the greatest player Mike's capable of being? What are we doing in here? What's the science of what we're teaching in here? This is my son, Mike. This is Mike Stefano. That's how I say it, right? Stefano, right? Stefano. Iris. Okay. This is Mike O'Donnell. All right? Mike teaches with me now, and Mike got a Division I college golf scholarship. He played Division I, so he's been to the highest mountain. He knows what it's like. He knows what you're feeling. Mike's in 10th grade, 10th?
Yeah.
Going into 11th? At Wyoming Area High School. So, and he was 7th man last year, and he's trying to break in, and you know all that. You know, he knows, he's been where you're at, right? So he knows that. So, the name of this game, the science of this game, how are we going to make you a better player? There's one way we make you a better player. The more often your golf ball hits the center of that club face, the better you'll be. All right?
Okay.
It's that simple. Mike, just spend one minute over there with me while I explain this to you. You guys can stand together, all right? Now, this is where we are, Mikey. I just examined some things in Mike's swing. It's our second lesson together. And one of the things I'm seeing him do, and believe me, I know a little bit about this. He'll laugh because he understands what I'm doing right now, and I'm really struggling with the driver. But this is where he's starting his backswing from. He's here. His hands are here. All right? I just explained to him that Tiger Woods worked for 18 months with Butch Harmon to get his club to go from here to here, from here to here, to increase his accuracy. So if they did that, you know, we got some time to go to get you from here to here. All right? So one of the things we're going to do is, and I'll prove this to you real quick, just take this ball, catch that. All right? Now do this with it. Now do this. Okay. That's easy, right? You can do that all day, right? If you're an athlete, right? That's simple, right? All right, take it behind your head. Now throw it up in the air. Go ahead, catch it. Good. Do it again. Good, good. Catch it. All right. You understand my point?
Yeah.
All right, now take it, put it right here. And catch it. Right side. You can catch it on your right side, right? Right. Here's the point. This is where we want your club to stop. Your hands need to stop on the right side of your head,
Okay.
not behind your head. Because as human beings, there's nothing we're meant to do from behind our head. Nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. You're useless from here. Did you ever notice if you have a little niece or nephew, we have all varieties in our family, but they're great kids. But the first thing they'll do to throw something is they'll take it and go behind their head, and God, they look so ridiculous, and then they'll throw it at you, and the ball will fall all over the place. Nothing good will happen. And then you'll get that one kid in your family who'll be a natural athlete, and he'll take the ball and hold it, or she'll take it, hold it right here, and kind of hit you right in the nose with it. It's like, whoa, and it's always, what's different about that kid? Well, somehow, in an innate sense, they have the natural sense that this is where they start from. And that one kid that we all know that's all clumsy and awkward, they'll be back here, you know, hitting themselves in the head with the ball, throwing it on their toe. And then you'll get that one kid, and he'll start right here. That's where we want you to start with the golf club, right here. All right? So the next time you're at that driving range, I want you to, this is what you're going to work on. You're going to work on starting right here. And then just from here, coming through. Now, I'm going to show Mike something. I guarantee you, you'll be impressed with this.
Okay.
I won't even tell him what we were working on. Let me in here. I bet you he'll pick this out. See how good I know this kid. driver swing. See a driver swing here? Shoot it out. Pick your driver for me. Just hit it the way you always do.
Okay.
Just hit one driver. And then we'll change it after that. See if Mike notices something in slow motion. Okay, Mike, you're gonna, I just want you to focus on this part here for a minute. You can't see the clock yet real well. You can see it there. You see his club head? You remember this with you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Okay, what I was telling him was how that lines up with that condition of the left wrist. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's really good.
He worked for, oh my God, the whole summer,
Yeah,
right,
pretty
on
much.
a condition of this left wrist.
Yeah, I get the top line was bent.
His was concave, and yours is flush. Now, that means nothing to you. You're taking it for granted. Kind of like just like you're gonna go home tonight and sleep in a warm bed. But if your father threw you out by 3 o'clock this morning, you'd have a pretty good appreciation of what was going on up there. All right? Great. No, believe me, this position right here is absolutely great. It's great. It's a hell of a position to be able to start in, coupled with that. So, what we're always looking to gain is we're always looking for the position of the club face and a position to lift of the left wrist to be in the same place. All right. Okay. Now go ahead, hit one, and I'll let you go back in a minute. Okay. So we're just going to try to slow your swing down. All right. Now, this is Mike. This is what I want you to know. The next time you go ahead, set up. The next time you work together. All right. Here's one of the things I am worried about. I think his right foot is too wide.
Yeah.
I like his ball position, but it's too wide, okay? So we're gonna narrow that, grip it, all right? And I want you to straighten out his grip next time. I'm not gonna spend any time working on that right now, but he kinda has it in here, and it needs to be more athletically held, as we do that ball thing.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Don't worry about that though. We're working on something different. I'll work on your right foot, Mike will work on your hands next time, all right? What you and I are gonna work on is, we're working on a little bit on your right foot. He'll work on that too. I just want to really worry about shortening your backswing.
Okay.
That's what you and I are going to work on. He's going to work on your grip. He's going to work on your right foot. All right. He might work on some post-impact things with you. But I just wanted you guys to get the chance to meet. He's got to go back in. He's doing some studying as a class though. All right. And the next time you come in, you're probably going to be working with Mike. Although you might be working with me this weekend. Might be working with Mike next week. All right. We're going to get you going together. And hopefully get you hitting the ball a little better. He strikes the driver real well. So, probably one, if not any lessons you do, you might want to do at the range.
We could do it outside.
And he's having some trouble hitting the driver, but he shouldn't be having trouble hitting the driver because of how really solid that left wrist is. Do you have anything you want to say before you go?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it'll help you just kind of add something. If you're, like, when you're hitting the driver, what's it doing most of the time?
Just dive it. It doesn't. Really
Diving, meaning low left?
Yeah.
Meaning what? What do you mean?
It doesn't do anything right.
Here's the trick. I'll
Doesn't
give you a
everything
little,
look
I'll give you a
straight?
little trick. Being that your hand's in the perfect position up here, and that my dad just told you that this is the club face. The back of your left hand is what the club face looks like at all times in a swing. If you can just try to get your left hand, the back of your left hand, to the ball flush, you hit the driver straight. That's all there is to it. Especially when you already have this move down up here, where your hand's flushed, and you're not like I was when I was younger, bent like that. And when you're like this, there's more flexibility, but when there's solid structure there, nothing's gonna happen. The driver's gonna stay right where your body turns it. So if you could visualize, the back of your left hand coming to impact, and your left hand is the base of that driver, and you're just trying to hit that ball with the back of your left hand, hopefully you'll see some instant results, because it's pretty easy to catch on to anything.
Take the club back. Grip it, take it back. Here's what he's trying to tell you. He's absolutely right. That's a brilliant point. Back. All right. Look, if we know right here that you're pretty flush in here, you know, I don't want you to get too concave. You're pretty flush, which shows a good sign. I mean, you have a little concave here. You're going to have that. But basically, we're looking at a pretty good left wrist. All right. Also, that means that that club, I'm looking at the club right now, is in a similar position. So this wrist will be that club face. So when you return down here, your hand right now matches the club face. When you're coming in, you're matching the club face, right? So if you're smothering the ball low left, that means you're a little concave at impact, like he was at the top of the swing, and your club face is going to look like that. All right, that's your smothering the ball. That's low left, right? So if you want to get it stripe it a little higher, you got to keep that wrist a little more flush. You just got to feel that. Can you feel that? Yeah.
You just want to get the back of your glove right at the target.
Right at the target. Yeah, the foot
And
joint right at the
And
target.
that's something so easy where you don't have to get crazy technical on it and talk about a million things, but you'll see instant success with that because it's easy for you to figure out, and you don't have to do too many drills. You just have to feel the swing and make sure you have a nice loose grip and just get the back of that left hand back to the ball. And you know, it's an easy swing thought.
He played Division I for 2 years. He's not doing it anymore, but we've gone a different direction. We're going different places. I'm moving. There's a whole other litany of issues. None of them were failure at all. All right. What I would say is this. What I would ask him to share with you is this. When you're playing, when you were playing, and you felt pressure, what do you think is the first thing that you do with your hands or with the club?
When I feel pressure,
Yeah, when you felt pressure playing at competitive levels of golf.
tricky grip pressure. Put your hands on the club, waggle it out a lot. I don't know how much you guys went through on grip
You didn't
pressure.
do any of that. You're going to get through that.
Okay, we'll get to that. I'm going to show you a perfect way to find your grip pressure, and they'll just take all the tension out. And then from that point, you pick a real small target out, you look out and down the fairway if you're hitting a tee shot, you pick a small target, maybe a little dark spot of grass, you aim, you're focusing on that target, you look at the back of the ball, relax your hands, waggle it out, look at the back of the ball, think about nothing but your target, and you're going to hit it right down the middle. I mean, your mind's that powerful, and it's just a matter of staying relaxed and, you know, not getting too technical with your swing thoughts, because I'm really mechanical with my golf swing. If I'm on the driving range, I'm thinking about everything. But once you're out on the course, and it's only been the last couple of years that I've been able to do this, maybe my senior year of high school when I first started to get it, you gotta let go of those mechanical thoughts out on the course and just think about nothing but your target and maintain nice light grip pressure. Because if you ever watch the tour players on TV, I mean, they're coming up 18 and they have a one-stroke lead on Sunday. I mean, those guys are walking up, they're trying to shake out their arms, but stay nice and relaxed. I mean, that's all they're trying to do. They get up to it, they'll look at the target, and they'll be waggling the club for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You can come on, hit the ball. But all they're doing is making sure
Trying to
they're
get
relaxed.
spaghetti arms.
Because if you're squeezing the club,
You're doing
you're going to hook it, you're going to push it, it's going to go everywhere except where you want it. except
And the
where-
more pressure you get under, your self-imposed pressure, the tighter you squeeze the club, the harder you'll press yourself, the harder it will be for you to perform. Right? The further back your backswing will go, which is the point of this lesson. The further you'll go, the harder you'll swing at it. Let me tell you something. I have given in my life literally thousands of golf lessons. Not 100, not 1,000, not 500, thousands. Literally thousands of these, right? This is not a lie. Ask him. This is the truth. This weekend, right now, I was just laying in a bed across the bed. I come in, I usually lay down for a few minutes before lesson starts, so I build my energy up and do good thinking. I'm laying across the bed, I just said to one of my kids, I have hit the ball so bad with the driver, it's annoying me, and I know literally everything there is to know about this. I mean, I know everything. I teach this. That's how hard this game is. This isn't an easy game. You know? You have to stay in control of your mind. If you're swinging hard, you're dead. If you're swinging for your hand behind your head, you're dead. If that club's past parallel, you're dead. So what we're trying to do is get control of your driver. I just wanted you and Mike to meet, and you're going to be going through a lot of the game with him. And the reason I want him to work with you is because as you go into August now, your season's gonna be starting. He knows all those issues. He's been where you're at. It's not all that long ago. Like he graduated 2001, you know, and he was a great high school player. In fact, he had more points than anybody in the league going into districts, and he played a bad district round. But that happens. So, just wanted you guys to meet.
Okay. You want to schedule?
Yeah, you want to set it up? When are you good?
Any day except Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, then those days I'm working Fox Hill,
So you
I'll
need
be there all
Thursday.
day.
Thursday. I'm probably gonna do, well, maybe we'll
Am I
split.
doing the next one, or you?
You wanna do something Saturday? You being here Saturday? Are you around Saturday?
No, I'd be enlisted. No, okay. I can do something Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon probably.
Is Saturday all right with you?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday morning, okay?
Yeah.
All right, put in Saturday morning, at 11.
11? Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
And then you schedule next Thursday at 3.
Okay.
You wanna add the Saturday morning at 11 together? Okay.
Sounds all right.
All right?
Alright. Alright, good meeting, Mike. See you
Good.
Saturday.
All right.
Okay, let's see, hit some. Short backswing. All you're gonna do to short backswing is calm down. Calm your effort down. Hit the ball. About 3/4 speed, 3/4 effort. Okay, I wanna show you something, Mike. And we're gonna change this. And then I'm gonna let you hit something. Okay, I want you to watch your left foot. Watch this foot. Ready? Did you see that? Did you know you do that?
Not really.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Set up. Okay, Ben Hogan, in his book, setup, calls for the left foot to be flared 20 degrees toward the target. So here's 20 degrees. Let's put it this way. Here's 90 degrees. Half of that's 45, half of that's 20. So just give me a little flare on the left foot. A little flare, a little more flare, a little more. Yeah, good. Now narrow the right foot. Narrow, more narrow, more narrow. That's way too wide. Keep coming in. No. Pick the heel up and move it right in. All the way in. Look, do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Now, swing nice and smooth. And maintain good footwork. If you can survive on your feet right like that, you swing it smooth. If you can't, you swing it too hard. Better. How you doing?
Good, how are you, sir?
We're doing good. Go on. I just had my son in here, who had a nice talk with Mike. He'll do well with him too, because he's gonna share some things with him about competitive playing. You know, he's been through this. That's good footwork. All right, now you listen to me. If your footwork is sloppy, you're swinging too hard. All right? If you can't maintain your balance on your feet, you're swinging too hard. Right? You watch Ernie Els and watch his hips. You watched that thing last night?
Yeah.
I mean, that man's hips are just amazing to me. You know, I mean, he didn't play good golf last night, but it's just so, and he's so in balance, so relaxed. You know, you're actually swinging here. I just showed him when you're swinging, you're picking your foot up, turning your foot in the middle of the golf swing. That's to survive, by the way. That's so you don't hurt yourself. That's your mind saying, "Hey, save him. He's gonna hurt himself." You know, so your mind even knows you're swinging too hard. All right, go ahead, calm down, do it again. You're doing good. You should watch this tape over too. There's some things said on this tape between me and Mike that are going to help you a lot. Okay, too much hip rotation. Calm down the hip rotation. Just rotate the upper body. Go ahead. Remember, spine angle to the right, tilt yourself behind the ball. You have to be behind the ball. Relax your hands. Nice and short swing. Ready? Go. Good. Now let's watch this one. See where your hands end up. Okay. Still pass parallel. It's unbelievable, isn't it? You would never believe that, right? Unbelievable. But your hands are at least arriving on the right side of your head. Right? They're not behind your head anymore. Okay, so that's good. Ah, there's better footwork. That's more in control. So, let me ask you, what do you think I'm trying to work on?
Shorten up the swing a little bit,
Okay, why? Why am I doing this stuff?
so I can ball a little straighter, not be as wild up.
That's right. Accuracy. Accuracy. The name of this game is center face contact. The more often you hit the ball in the center of the club face, the better you're going to be. It's that simple. It's not how hard you hit it, it's how often you hit it in the center of the club face. That's the name of the game. Case closed. All right? Now get your iron out. I want to show you one more thing before we wrap up. Okay, set up again. I'm going to teach you a setup. This is your iron setup. You set up with the driver the way you want. This is your iron setup, okay? I want you to set up like you're stepping right in front of the ball, just barely. Okay, just like this. In front of the ball. Then simply take the right foot, put it back outside. Float the left toe a little bit. And lean behind the ball with my angle, my spine. My spine's angled to the right. I'm behind the ball. Remember this. You couldn't get in a fight, drag a guy past you, and start punching him. You have to be behind your punches. You have to be behind the ball when you hit the ball. You can't get past the ball and rake it through. Right? Even though golf courses are replete with guys trying to do that, you can't do that. You have to be behind the ball. If you're going to be a great player, you have to be behind the ball to be a great player, even with a wedge. All right? This setup, all the clubs will fall right in alignment with this setup. You step here, and just drop that foot back. Try it. It's going to move the ball a little more forward in your stance. Now, put the club behind the ball. Step in front of the ball. Both feet touching. Keep going. Keep going forward. Both feet touching. Touch. Now put the right foot back. Now lean toward the right foot. Body angle. No. Stay there. Don't move. No. Don't move. Go back to where you were. Not a hip angle. This. Okay? Good. That's perfect. Go ahead. Strike it. Now, if you had your left foot in the receiving position, you would have caught your body weight. But you didn't flare your left toe. Go again. Your left foot's in that position to catch your body weight. Flare it. Flare the toe. Nice and smooth. Ah, come on, that's Now I had Mike tell you one thing that is going to be the most important thing you ever need to know when you're in competition. I had him tell you one thing. What did I have, Matt? What did I ask him about competition? What goes wrong when you're playing? Remember me asking?
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. You know what happens? I've seen it right now. I saw when you rub that driver. The next swing, you were squeezing the club. You apply more pressure to yourself. More pressure, more pressure. Right? I want you to step up, hit it, find it, hit it again. hit it, find it, and hit it again. It's not about pressure. You're not going to lose your house. It's a golf match. But when you self-impose that pressure, you're doomed. You know? And when he said the mind's a powerful thing, he picks the smallest possible target out there. He aims at the tiniest piece of discoloration in the grass he can see, hundreds of yards away. And that's what's in his mind. Mind is a very powerful thing. If you don't believe that, consider this. Why is it that when we stand over a par 3, we'll think of the lake, the lake, the lake, the lake, the lake, but you should right in the lake? Because the mind is putting it in the lake. It's telling you how to put it in the lake. You know, you should think the green. You know, the hole, that spot, he's picking a spot on the green, a corner of a tree or something like that he's aiming at. You know, and that's what we're going to try to get across to you too. So you got to learn how to swing, and then you got to learn how to think on the golf course and play the game. You're doing great though. I'm happy with the way you're going along. That ball position with your 5-iron is too far back in your stance. I want that a little more forward. And I want you to shorten your swing and relax, swing a little slower, and that's what you're going to work on until I see you again.
Okay.
And everything on that's on this tape. All right? Don't forget your tape next time.
Oh, you're supposed to bring your tape?
That's all right.
Okay.
Take your time, warm up. I'll be right back. Let him hit a few and then jump in there, Mike, all right? Yep.
So it's gonna be good, Mike?
Well, I'm here.
Well, yeah.
You know, if we can just get you to shorten that swing and have some control over it,
Yeah.
you'll make the tee. Because you'll have control. Your shots will always be in play. You won't be able to play at all. So it'll just be a matter of getting up and down from time to time. Your scores will drop significantly and you shoot in the 80s, no problem. Right now, my understanding is about around the 90 area.
Kind of mid-80s.
Mid-80s?
Mid to high 80s.
Okay.
Occasionally in the 90s.
Yeah. Alright, you want to be go over your grip. Grip the club, which is how you do me a favor, put it down on the ground with your grip and just kind of open your hands out like that. I want to see where the club's at. Is that where you would normally grip it? Just like that?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Take the club, put it in your right hand, hold it out in front of you like this. Alright, now what I want you to do, I want you to just grab this club like you're holding an umbrella. Wrap your thumb over it and everything. Like you're holding an umbrella. Okay? Alright, now take your thumb, just point it up towards the top of the club, and just pinch the right side of the shaft. Good. Now, right hand's gonna come up, I'm gonna close the umbrella, and interlock over that whatever you do. Okay. Your hands should just mesh together, and this pocket right here in your hand, your thumb should fit right in that pocket. That's your grip. Feel different?
Yeah.
Okay. So check that every time. And that's the simplest way I can describe a grip to you. So if you can remember that simple little umbrella thing, it's kind of corny, but it's an easy way to remember the grip. And if you keep your hands loose on the club, you won't have any troubles with your grip. It'll be solid all the time. So go ahead, try it. Hit a few and see how it feels to you. It's probably gonna feel a little awkward, but essentially all I was trying to do there was turn that right hand over a little more, because your right hand's a little underneath. when you hit a bad shot, just go to the right a lot. Yeah, you shot to the right. Yeah. I'm gonna wait for my dad to get back up because I don't want to get ahead of him. But right now, I want to work on shortening that club up. So, as you can see, it's still going. What are you swinging at? 5. Yeah, you want to move that ball a little more forward in your stance. You've got the 5-iron played right where you play a 7-iron. So we want to move it up a little bit. It should be between your shoulder and the collar of your shirt. So move that up a little bit. This will help you get through the ball a little more. Just go to the top of the swing again. Right about there is where you should be stopping. And that looks kind of abbreviated, but that's where Tiger Woods stops. That's where the best players in the world stop their swing. Because you have so much more control here than you do right here. Once that club goes beyond your head, you've lost almost all control, even if it's something as small as, maybe an inch or two past parallel. Now you have to kind of jolt your arms to kind of get yourself back where you want to be. So it just throws your timing off all the way. And it doesn't seem like a big deal. I'm just swinging a little too far back, but that's how big that is. Shortening the swing. Especially whenever you're playing bad, when you're on the golf course and you're playing bad, the best thing you could do is shorten up your golf swing, because then you get some control back. Let me take a swing here for you on the tape. So I don't want to get you to stop. Tight. Well, 2 bad shots, but you'll see where my backswing is. This is kind of where I want you to stop. There's the top of my backswing. Now, granted, I'm a little tight, I hit 2 bad shots, but from this position here, I have so much more control over my swing. If I had taken it back as far as you take it back and put the same swing on it that I did, I probably would have missed the ball. My body's so tight, I couldn't turn much further. But if you swing to this position here, you have 10 times more control over the swing than you do if you take it past parallel to where you're taking it down. And you're going to find that you're going to hit much better shots, and you're not going to lose the ball to the right. Because when my dad comes out, I'm going to try. I don't want to get into that, but I just want to run it by him. Because, like I said, I don't want to get ahead of him. So let's hop back up there. Keep your focus on the grip, too, when you start off. Make sure you're going where it's supposed to be. If you have any questions about the grip, feel free to ask me. If you have anything confusing you about it. So try to take a 3/4 swing. I mean, in your mind, that's what it is. That's what we're shortening you up to. Slow it down a little bit too. You kind of whip the club back and it's throwing everything out. That's why you take it back so far too. Because you take the club back really fast. When you take it back so fast, you can't just slow it down and stop it on a dime right here. It has to keep going to some point past the parallel because you don't have as much control over it. It's still a little long on the backswing. Shorten it up. Good stop. From where I'm sitting, I can see you. I should not be able to see that. So, if you look on your grip, you kind of have these little markers here. Believe it or not, you can actually use these. These will show you where your grip's supposed to be. So if you want to put your left thumb right on this mark here where it kind of comes out, right there, that puts you in perfect position. And then you take your right hand, throw it over the top of the left, and put your hand to the other side of the shaft. It's just kind of, your thumbs oppose each other, on opposite sides of the glove. And then just to kind of finalize things, take your right finger, kind of extend it down the shaft just a little bit. It's almost like a tree. This will help you get through the ball like that. So yeah, use that diagram on the glove. That'll actually help.
Alright.
Good. Your hands feel a little more comfortable on the club now? You feel like you have more control over the club?
Yeah, a little.
Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that because I can see your thumb from where I'm sitting. I should be able to see it. That should be hidden in that pocket in the hand that I talked about. Go again. Be certain not to squeeze the club either, because if you're squeezing the club, it's not going to release, and everything's going to get blocked off to the right because your hands are squeezing it so hard they can't rotate through like they're supposed to. So you have to waggle it out a little bit before you hit the ball. Go for it. See that one? A little better to me. The ball's still back a little too far, so we want to move it up towards the front foot. A little more yet. Much better. That's much better. That's exactly where I had it. That's perfect. Oh yeah, that's much better. And what I was talking about before with hitting the ball to the right and why you were doing that, I'll just touch on it a little bit. But watch your body come through the ball. Watch your position right when you get into the ball. See how the ball is kind of right here, you can barely see it, but your head's back here, your head's behind the ball. Here you're striking from behind the ball. You have so much more power when you're hitting the ball like this. When you go past parallel, what you do, your whole body leans into the ball. And if we go back to one of your other swings, you'll see that your body's in front of the ball when you're hitting it. That's why it's going to the right, because if your body's in front of the ball, the club face has to be open. But when you're attacking from behind the ball, the club face will be square. And then eventually you start drawing the ball a little bit too. But, I mean, it didn't look like you got that one all the way, but it was a much better swing overall. Let's go back up there and do that again. I like that a lot. So move the ball a little more forward. Focus in on your grip. Relax the hands. And then just think three-quarter swing. Much better. How'd that feel? Pretty good. Okay, good. A few more. The only way you're going to get this feeling is by continuing to hit balls and get more and more and more shots. And your body will become really comfortable with it too. Slow that backswing down just a touch. Hit it back really fast with your arms. When you're making your backswing, your arms have nothing to do with the backswing at all. It's all shoulders. And this will help you shorten your swing even more too. because your shoulders can only turn so far. But if you're taking your arms, whipping them back with your arms, you can turn almost into a pretzel. But if you're just using your shoulders and the muscles in your back, you can only turn to about right here. So I want you to try to focus on one of my cues in my own golf swing. What I like to do is when I check my downswing or my backswing when I'm taking a practice swing, I'll take my left shoulder and just try to turn it underneath my chin. And I know if I got my left shoulder underneath my chin and I didn't let my arms break or get the spaghetti arms with it and lose control of the swing, that I made a good golf swing up to this point. And my swing's solid, I'm gonna hit a good shot provided I don't do anything from here to here and mess it up. So if that helps you at all to take the arms out of it a little bit, I want you to take the club back. I just want you to take your left shoulder, because you can see your left shoulder throughout your swing. Looking down at the ball, take the left shoulder and just turn it right underneath the chin. And that's your full backswing. And then that just kind of puts every issue with your backswing to rest, provided that your arms don't get crazy and you lose control of your swing up here. Okay?
Okay.
So give that a try. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Up that grip. You can see your thumb. Good. With the trigger finger down. Now I know it feels weird when you have your right hand turned over more. It feels like you don't have much power. But by getting that finger down the shaft, that kind of makes up for it, to what you're used to. So by having that down there, that gives you a little more leverage to get through the ball. So make sure you have your right hand's turned over and that left thumb, I can't see that. I don't want to be able to see that from over there. And just get that trigger finger down the shaft just a little bit. A big shoulder. That looked pretty good. How'd it feel?
Felt like it.
Felt good? Let's take a look at it. It looked a little long, but I think all we did there was get your shoulders a little more active and your arms kind of stayed the same, but it looked better. That's much more powerful. Okay, you went a little long with it, but that was only because your shoulders turned to here, but your arms didn't stop. They wanted to keep going. So we're just going to slow that down a little more in the next couple swings. But look how much more powerful you are here. I mean, this is all distance. The ball's over here somewhere. It's not drawing it, but you are. There you go. You get the point. That's all. That's the distance you are from the ball, and that's all power. But however far you can turn your shoulder back, that's where your power is going to come from. The only thing that happened in your case here was that your arms kept going too. So I want those arms out of the swing. All the arms do is hold on to the club. Okay, but it was much better. It was a much better swing. Let's see what your body does to it. You waited on the shot much better. That's why you got a good result. Because typically on your first couple shots, what you were doing is you were getting back there, and when your hands were going past parallel, your body was kind of leaning in towards the target, leaning towards the left. And then as you did that, your body was, when you were coming into the ball, you were ahead of the ball. But that one, you stayed pretty solid. You didn't get ahead of the ball. So that's why you got away with that one. So, okay, hop back up. Same thing. Check your grip. Once your grip's set, make sure your ball position's okay. Get set up, don't squeeze the club. And from here on out, all I want you to think is 3/4 swing with the shoulders, no arms. Just control the swing too. Better, better. Do it again. Hit a bunch of them. And what you're going to find, as you move your ball further to the front of your stance, and the less arm movement there is up here, you're going to start hitting the ball higher. What I'm seeing is you're hitting the ball pretty low. Do you hit the ball low?
Yeah.
Most of the time? That's because you're either in front of the ball when you're hitting it, and that's why you're getting the shots to the right. Either that, or your arms are so out of control in the swing that you're not getting the club is not returning to the ball in the same position it started. Something in your swing is making the club come in, and it's shut down. But as you move the ball forward in your stance, and you get a little more big muscle oriented, meaning your shoulders and your back muscles, you're gonna hit the ball, you're still gonna hit it with a descending blow, but it's gonna come up in the air a lot higher. And you're gonna see that as you progress with shortening your swing. It's amazing that something so small as shortening up your swing can do so much to your ball flight, but it will. You'll see it as you keep doing this. But you definitely gotta keep working on it, so let's hit a few more. Because probably the main reason why you hit the ball low is because your arms are so much in control of your swing that your arms are slapping down at the ball and it's just completely shutting the face of the club down. You know what I mean? Go it again.
Coming behind you, don't swing. Okay.
So grip, ball position. Good. 3/4 swing.
That looks good. What do you do?
I told him to take a 3/4 swing. I tried to take his arms out of the swing. The reason why his backswing looks so out of control to me at least is that he whips it back really hard with his arms rather than turning his shoulder to his back.
God, his grip
Because
is
if you-
better too. You work on it.
Yeah, I just did the umbrella analogy. His grip, he's reverting back to the old one a little bit.
I see it going back. The
Yeah,
right hand
he's-
looks like he's going back.
Yeah, he's like, every time I can see the thumb, I tell him to start over.
Okay.
Yeah,
You look good. Go ahead.
hit a few more, Mike.
Mike, the thumb on the right hand needs to pinch the left hand of the shaft. Look at this.
I told him
Needs to be
to
here.
use the diagram on his
Down here.
club.
Yeah, he's right.
You wanna get it over.
That line right there, that's what it's for. That's why the line's there, for your
You-
thumb.
It kinda looks like a ribbon here. You want your thumb to be right there, your right thumb. Just like I said, one thumb's going one way, the other thumb's going the
Yeah,
opposite.
they oppose each other. Just like in life, we walk down the streets, our thumbs aim at each other. Same thing on a club. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Not more over. Leave it over there. You'll get used to it. Don't squeeze it. You'll get used to it if you don't squeeze it. Relax.
And once you have that set, you're set.
Go.
Don't worry about it. Just think about the length of your swing now. Better.
Swing looks a lot better.
You know what I
Looks
noticed?
a lot
You
better.
know what I noticed too, Dan? When he gets crazy at the top with his arms and taking it back too far. His whole body, like I used to when I was younger, his whole body comes into the ball and he attacks the ball.
Come over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's well in front of the ball.
Inside.
He's well in front of the ball, and I asked him, I said, you hit a lot of shots to the right when you hit bad shots, and he said, yeah. So by using his shoulders and taking his arms out of it, he's actually kind of automatically falling in and attacking the ball from a stronger position.
All right. Real good. How's your ball striking out of here? When you leave here to practice, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Are you happy with it? Is it
Yeah, it's definitely helping.
okay? So you think
It's a
you're
lot.
better? You're getting better.
Yeah.
All right. Are you noticing anything different happening to your ball? Is it drawing? Is it going a little further? Is it more consistent?
It's definitely a little more consistent.
So your bad shots aren't as bad as they were.
Right.
They're getting more narrow. Yeah. That should happen. Okay. All right.
And the more and more you can train yourself to use your shoulders and not your arms in the swing, your bad shots aren't going to be that bad to you. You may miss a green, but you're not going to be out of bounds.
Look at this hand. That's no good. You've got to get that hand over, yeah.
And we'll move that ball a little more forward too, Mike. You got it back where you play the 7-iron.
Okay, go ahead. That's good, Mike. That's good.
Now, if you want to hit the ball higher, who's saying it's the ball kind of low, just keep moving the ball forward in your stance, because your natural tendency that I've seen, just like you keep going back to the old grip, you want to play that ball so far back in your stance, you got to hit it low. You got that far back. If you have a 5-iron out the middle of your body, you're going to hit it low every time you hit it. So keep itching it towards the front of your stance. If you get too far towards the front of your stance, I'll tell you, but it's not going to hurt you, because right now you have it towards the collar of your shirt. And that's
Mike.
That's going to keep it low.
Are you working on Wednesday?
Yeah.
What time do you work?
6 to 2:30.
6 in the morning.
6 in the morning to 2:30.
Okay. Suppose I schedule you in here Wednesday afternoon at 5. Can you make that?
Yeah, I can make 5.
All right. Let's make an appointment for Wednesday at 5. That appointment's going to be indoors. Then Mike's going to do one outdoors with you next Saturday, the driving range in Mountain Top. Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right. I won't be at the outdoors. Mike handles the outdoor lessons. All right. What do you want to do that at 1 or 11? You have openings on both. What would be better for you?
11 works for me. How's 11 for you? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good.
You're not gonna be out drinking beer all night, are you? Alright, I'll go put you in for 11 on Saturday and 5 on Wednesday. The Wednesday will be here, the Saturday's a mountaintop at the driving range. You know where that is?
Not really, I don't
All right.
think I've ever been there.
Alright,
You know where Crestwood High School is?
Yeah.
You know, you get there up 309 and everything.
just drive up Route 309 till you see Crestwood on the right. It's a half mile past Crestwood High School on the same side.
Oh, okay.
When you get to McDonald's and Mountaintop, you're exactly, from the driveway, you're exactly 1 mile from the driving range. Crestwood's a half mile from there.
Oh,
So it goes McDonald's, Crestwood, the driving range.
Even if you're unsure, if you want to call me and meet me here and follow me up, we can do that too. 'Cause
Are
know
you
how to-
driving to the lessons here? Your dad picking you
well,
up?
my dad just took me there, I could drive, but,
Well, either way, it doesn't matter, however you want to handle it.
okay.
You know, Mike will drive you up or meet you up there or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. The only thing is with driving range, it's $5 for the balls, because we don't own the range anymore. Some other guy owns the range, he just gives us the right to teach it there.
Yeah, you have to buy the balls.
So you have to buy the balls and stuff.
That's fine, huh?
Okay. Go ahead, it's up. Mike, did I ever ask you to hold this ball in your hand?
No.
Alright, take this ball, catch it in the right hand. Hold it, put it right here, right in the middle of the palm. Now put your fingers around it. Now throw it into the net. Alright, now take this ball, see this?
Okay.
Hold it in the hand, now put it in your fingertips. Your fingertips. Like you throw a bit. Alright, now put your thumb on it, throw it into the net. Which was easier?
No, probably fingertips.
Right, so why do you hold the club in the middle of your palm? That's the point. When we get this hand over, you should have the club in the fingers. These fingers, believe it or not, they can save a shot. You could get into a shot, all the way into impact. All of a sudden, you know you're in a bad position, and your fingers can work you through the shot and save the shot. It's in the palm can't. If a glass of soda or milk is falling off your kitchen table, you're not likely to save it by grabbing it with your palm. You're likely to snatch it with your fingers if there's any chance of saving it at all, right?
Right.
So the fingers are there's a lot of dexterity and there's a lot of athleticism in your fingers. So you want to get the club situated in your fingers, and then the hands roll over the top of the golf club. So the fingers will allow your hands to work more freely, and they'll allow you to be more athletic in the game. You won't be so marble-like, so like a statue, so rigid. You'll be more flexible, more athletic. Try holding the club in your fingers, get your hands over the top of the club a little more. Okay, go ahead, I'm going to mark those.
Right hand over. Good. It's gonna feel awkward, but that's how it's gotta be. Yeah, and a bunch of. Still slow that backswing down. Control your backswing with your shoulder turn, not your arms, because your arms are starting that backswing and you're ripping it right back with it. For the first 2 feet of your swing, it's actually just like putting. When they tell you you have the triangle here, and you don't want to break that triangle, that's how your backswing should start. You take it to just outside your right foot, and there's no break in that triangle. And then at that point, your wrists have to work and everything like that, so it does break. But your swing should be started with your shoulders until about, I don't know, a foot outside your right foot. And then everything else will start to catch up, like maybe your wrist cock and stuff like that. But in your case, first thing you do is whip it with your arms really quick. And your wrist cock starts really early, and your arms come flying back, and then you kind of lose control up here. I mean, now that you've got 3/4 swing in your mind, you're not taking it back as far. But it still might feel a little awkward taking it back that short. You probably feel like you're taking about a half swing, don't you? Just try to slow it down and control the swing with your bigger muscles, like in your shoulders and your back. Right hand over. You want to get it right on that other side of that little diagram on there. That was pretty good. That was a great swing. That was much better. Much better. And you may not get solid contact at first, but that's okay. Because your body has to readjust, because you're so used to just going after it with your arms. But when you're using the muscles you're supposed to use, you might get a little thrown off and think, wait, what's going on? You're actually doing it the right way, so just kind of trust yourself and work through it if you hit some bad shots. Don't get discouraged. It sounds a lot more powerful now too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That club in the fingers. And you know what? You're gonna gain even more power as you get the club in the fingers, because your fingers, if you have the club in the fingers, the wrists will be more relaxed, and then they'll be more apt to just kind of pop into the ball rather than everything being so rigid, because the hands, club's in the palm of the hand, you kind of squeezing it, and everything has to work right for you to get back to the ball. If it's in the palm, but if it's in the fingers, you're a lot looser, and you can get through it much easier. And that'll make that move with turning the right hand over, because look, I mean, your hands are about as big as mine. If you have the club in your fingers, I mean, you can almost wrap it all the way over. I mean, it's quite simple at that point. But when it's in the palm of your hand, you can't get the club over because, well, it's in the palm of your hand, and your hand just isn't that big. So get in those fingers, and you'll find that it's not hard at all. You can turn it over. Good. Don't let it slide back. Your tendency is to let it slide back. Don't let it slide back. Turn it over. Keep it there. Good. Good. Go to the top of your swing and stop. What you think is the top of your swing? Your three-quarter swing and we'll work on it. Okay. Drawing the ball there. That's your swing. See how that kind of straighten your arm out a little bit, turn your shoulder a little more? That's where you got it. Do you feel a little more powerful there? Because you feel a stretch right down through your back.
Yeah.
And that stretches your muscles in your back coiling up. And when you turn back into the ball, they release like a spring. And that's what makes you hop into the ball and hit it so hard without trying to slam at it with your hands. Because you build up this resistance in your back muscles, and you just slam right into it without even having to give any extra effort. Okay? All right, go ahead. I just wanted you to get that feeling. Grip. Good. Get back to the ball, okay, the long swing on. Move past parallel. 3/4. Even there, still a little long. It might be hard to believe, but I can see the club moving past your left ear there. Slow the backswing down. Better. Better. So when you slow it down, it may feel a little awkward, but that's when you hit your best shots, because you have control over the swing, rather than the swing having control over you. Can you feel yourself getting it? Does it feel like you have more control over yourself?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what our big goal is today, just for you to start feeling where you're at in your swing and, you know, to have control over it. Because if you don't have control over it, you're gonna play inconsistently all your life. Sometimes it's gonna click, other times it's not. One day you can shoot 78, next day you can shoot 98. And we want to get you to a point where your bad scores aren't so bad and your good scores are pretty good. But keep going. And by shortening your swing, you're going to see instant results. I mean, if you can knock this thing back with shortening your swing and swinging more with the big muscles of your body, you'll have no problem making your high school team. You'll have no problem at all. If you can shoot something in the low mid-40s, you'll make your team every day. How's your short game too? Because I mean, your short game, if you can just tune your short game up, you'll have no problem making the team. You'll make the team hands down. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
How's he hitting them this week?
He's doing pretty good. We're working on shortening up his backswing.
Okay.
My dad just ran inside. How's Have at it, Mike. Okay, right hand turned over. Right hand. Now, the swing looks much better. It doesn't sound like you're catching the ball all the way, but that's all timing issue. Your body has to find its own timing because it's so used to you swinging all the way back here and then scrambling to get back to the ball, and sometimes you catch it. But now you're kind of coming in the same position every time by shortening the swing. So your body's got to find its own timing. What's going to happen is you just got to get out to the range and just hit a whole bunch of balls.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Your body will refine its own timing.
These are, it's Mike's and mine, and that's for me, and that's for him, okay? So they're already in there.
Go ahead. Just keep hitting a few more. Because your body will find
It's been a good lesson, he's come a long way here.
It'll seek out its own timing.
Finding that grip, buddy. Watch that hand. Remember that athleticism of the ball? Right. Keep the club in your fingers. That's where you're able to save a shot. You're athletic and you're got more flexibility with your fingers than the palm of your hands. You look good. You're not sucking that foot along so much. Your pivot looks good. Your backswing is shortened. You're not as pass parallel. I remember pass parallel was an issue. You're not pass parallel. Your timing and tempo look good. You should not hit wild shots by now. Now your shot should, even your bad shot should be at the trap, maybe a little outside the trap. It shouldn't be, off into the woods, Every now and then we're all gonna hit one in the woods, don't get me wrong. But you're looking pretty good to me. What questions might you have at this point? Is there something you leave here and you say to your dad or yourself, you never talked about this, I wish you'd tell me about that, I'm kinda interested to know?
Man, everything's pretty much
It's going along as you planned?
Yeah.
All right, at some point, we're gonna take a look at your putting. It won't be this week.
Okay.
It won't be this week, because there's things that I wanna get in. There's one thing that I don't like that you're doing in your golf swing, but I won't tell you now what it is, and I'll tell you why I won't tell you. Because if I tell you, you work on it without me. Even though you'll promise me you won't, you'll think of it, it'll drive you crazy, and you'll work on it without me. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to work on what you and Mike worked on. You know what I mean? And really bear down on this. Keeping that club, as far as I'm concerned, in the fingers is very important. You have the club in the hand, it's just like, you're holding an axe hand.
You have
In
no
the
feel.
fingers, yeah. This is where your feel is all about. It's very athletic in here. There's nothing in here, So that's important. And what you and Mike, when I came out here after you worked with you for a few minutes, I'll be honest with you, it took me back by the amount of improvement. Now, I guess you worked on your grip pressure too, right?
Yeah, I just keep telling him to keep his hands relaxed. I haven't told him, how to find it or anything like that. I just waggle it out a little bit. Because I kind of went over a lot and I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to crowd.
Mark that in. I'll do that on Wednesday. I'll show him how to apply it. But either way, your grip pressure seems to, I might not do it if it looks like it's not going to be a problem. Sometimes I don't want to address things if they're not a problem either. But, what else, Mike? What else did you work on?
Shorten the swing. We fixed his grip. I moved his ball position forward. He has 5-iron back up the middle of his body.
I noticed that.
I brought up a point to him that, when he was swinging too far back, that his body was leaning into the ball.
Chipping, yeah, that's what I'm going to work on.
And, by shortening his swing, he was taking that away, and I showed it to him, and he saw the difference. Because that was when I asked him if he gets a lot of shots to the right. And he said, yeah, when I miss a shot, he usually goes to the right, so.
Remember this. I think I told you this already. Whenever the ball goes to the right, did I tell you this?
Yeah, I think so.
something's in front of the ball at impact. This isn't my rule, this isn't something I invented, this is the physics of the game. Let me say it a different way. In order for the ball to go to the right, something has to be in front of the ball at impact. So if you're hitting the ball to the right, at impact, your head's in front of the ball, your hips are in front of the ball, your shoulders, and every time that happens, look at the club face. Club face will be open, that's how the ball goes to the right. Right? You can't be behind the ball and make the ball go to the right. I mean, I guess you can, but it would be quite an ordeal. So, let me see you hit a couple more shots before we wrap up. Boy, you look so much better. I mean, so much better.
She does a lot better too.
You look like you're starting to understand it too. It looks like it's sinking in. You're, you know, a lot of people, I don't, this doesn't sound nice, but it's true. A lot of people come in here and we'll explain things to them, and I can tell that they just looking at me like they got the high beams on. They don't have a clue what we're really talking about. They're just trying to basically feel their way around, you know. They don't understand the relationship between the things. Like holding the club in your fingers. I can't tell you how many things that's going to affect across the span of your golf swing. It just makes you so more graceful, much more athletic. You know, it's like trying to spend your life walking on your heels with no toes. You know, versus just using your toes to pivot. Every day, pivot to answer the door, pivot to get a soda off your toes. Same thing with your fingers. So why would we want to hold it in here? When we take the advantage of these digits, we take them completely out of our life by holding the club in here. It doesn't make any sense, you know. But some things, in like he was talking about shortening the backswing. A shorter backswing is going to make you more accurate by a mile, by a long shot. Backswing shorter, you can't reach back. You know, it's like I always teach it this way. You know, you see a little kid throw a baseball. The first thing they do is they take the ball and put it behind their head. You know, they have no idea where it's going. Why? Because our hands aren't meant to do anything as human beings from behind our head. You know, so we want the club to settle here on the right side of your head, just where you throw a football from, just where you throw a baseball from, just where you hit a golf shot from. Not back here. You won't see Joe Namath go back here to throw a football from back here, or a contemporary quarterback. It doesn't matter who, you know. They're going to do it from here. You know, it's the same thing. So I'm trying to make you understand that there's a direct relationship between what we would consider human, natural, you know, athletic positions, and in a way to achieve those positions in golf and have it manifest itself in a greater golf score, better efficiency. I think you're getting it though. You look like you're getting it.
Yeah.
You know? How often are you practicing?
As much as I could. I mean, it's not that much, but a couple times a week I'll go out and play, go to the range.
At this point, you're going to gain more out of the range than out of the golf course, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Because like I said with your timing, it'll refine itself. Your timing may feel a little off right now because, you know, we're using your big muscles and we shorten everything up. We might have thrown a few things up, but it'll find itself. And you'll be able, provided you can keep the club in your hands and stay really in tune with your feel, your body will find itself in the swing. And, you know, you may hit a few smothered shots or whatever the case may be. You may hit it heavy a couple times, but you'll figure out how to get back to the ball without us even telling you.
Now, when you go to the range for your lesson, if things go well, I'm probably gonna teach you a drill on Wednesday. It's actually a 5-part drill, and he's probably gonna teach you phases 2 and 3 of it at the range, which are more ball flight oriented phases of it. And that's gonna be something that really will hopefully. What we're actually doing is we're training your impact. We're teaching you how to train your own impact and how to control the shape of your shot at impact, right? Now, maybe you're understanding why we need all these things to happen before we can go into that. I need to know that the club is athletically held. I need to know that your swing is shorter and under control, that your tempo's there, and that when you pivot to the ball, you're going to make a crisp contact with the ball. But you'll understand a lot more on Wednesday. And then you can do phases 2 and 3. And you're going to understand a lot more in the next 7 days. But you've got to promise me this. I need you to get to the range and practice at least twice between now and Wednesday. Okay? At least 2 times. All right? If you can practice every day, that would be great. Hitting balls. You don't have to spend 5 hours playing, but you need to hit balls. And when you go there, you need to go there with a method, a mindset, and a plan, what you're practicing. You don't just go there, hit 100 balls like every other kid on the range. Notice this, when you go to a driving range or you go to a tournament, and you see the finest players at the tournament, they look different on the range than everybody else. You can't put your finger on it. Why? Because they're working on something. There's something specific on their plate. You know, when we go to the range, or I'm training one of these my kids or whatever, and I take them and we're in South Carolina and we're on the driving range, or we're in Hershey playing a tournament. You know, we're working on something. We're not just, you know, you go to the districts here, pre-district tournament, see all these kids just taking their driver out, swinging as hard as they can, trying to impress each other. Well, those of us who know, they're not impressing anybody. You know? So I want you to become one of the skilled and one of the intellectual players in the league. Somebody who uses your head. Your mind is a great tool. You can use your mind to cut 7, 8 shots off your game like that. You get some nutcase out there, and all he wants to do is swing real hard. I'm going to beat that guy every time. Every time, because you're going to outthink him. Be patient, relax, outthink him. Keep the ball in play. He's in the woods. Okay, you got that one wrapped up. You know, it's just thoughts like that. You know, patience, understand and have respect for the golf course. It's things like that. You have to train yourself to play this game. It's a 5-hour endurance test. Physical skill and mental ability, not a physical skill. Only, you know what I mean? You're getting it. You're going to understand a lot more in the next couple days, but I really want you to go to the range and practice with a mission. Work on what we're working on. Don't even take your driver. We're not interested in your driver. That you shouldn't even use it on the range. You should use the driver when we're working on a driver and you got a driver problem. But if you work your golf swing and you hit your 8 iron and your 9 iron and your 5 iron and those things are happening, your driver's going to happen too. You know, everybody else your age who goes to the range with their driver and leave the rest of their clubs. It's exactly the wrong way to do it. Exactly the wrong way. All right?
Okay.
Anything else? Any questions? Dad?
No. You were talking basketball when they were talking that pivot stuff. I understood. I
Yeah.
No, it rained and stuff, but you got out a little bit?
Yeah.
That's good. How's everything working? Is it working all right? You get a little bit, is it, you a little more comfortable with it?
Yeah. It's a lot
Okay,
more
good.
comfortable.
That's good. That's a big start. Swing's good. Pretty good. Keep it up. When did tryouts start? For the team?
About a week.
Week?
I don't know exactly yet. Because our coach is just going to call us.
Okay, one more. We're gonna look at the next one. Sounded pretty good. Good one. Okay. 7 iron. down on your head. Circle around, you know where your head is. I want to get your head up a little bit. So what that's doing, that's making you swing with your arms a little bit more. I'd like you to get a little more shoulder over here. You have broad shoulders, so you should be able to use them and get some distance out of it. Also, your whole body's lined up to the left. Your hands are kind of recovering a little bit. You're getting going down the target line. But my guess would be when you're having an off day, you start cutting the ball a little bit to the right, and sometimes you hook it a little bit. That would be my guess, because what's happening is sometimes you're swinging along the path of your body and your hands aren't coming through fast enough, so it kind of cuts a little bit to the right. And at times when you do get through, you do something called double crossing yourself, and your hands do come through, but they shut the club face down as you're going to the left, and it just hooks off to the left. So I want to get you squared up with your alignment, and then I'm going to show you a drill that we're going to do to train your impact. It's a 5-part drill. I think I mentioned it on Saturday a little bit, but we're going to work on it today, and then Saturday at the range. We're scheduled for Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday we'll go through, we're going to do the first part tonight, maybe the second part, probably just the first part though, because the first part's the hardest and it takes the longest to get. But once you get the first part, you can get the rest of it. So we'll probably do the first part tonight after we do this, and 2, 3, 4, and 5 we'll do at the driving range. But let's see how the rest of it looks. But other than your head being down a little bit and your body being open, it looks pretty good. Let's see if we slow that club down. It's a little long, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. Your hands are still in front of your head. The only reason it went past a little bit is because you can see how your elbow bent a little bit there. That's what allowed the club to go past your head. But that's not, you can live with that. It's not good, but it's not tragic. Yeah. The drill that we're going to do, I want to show you this position here. The drill that we're going to do, watch your left, watch the right screen, watch your left arm. See how it's chicken winging out? What's supposed to happen is your forearms should cross. But that's what this drill is going to teach you how to do. It's going to train your impact position, and you're going to get some better height on your shots, and you're going to get some better consistency. But let's start off with the head thing and your alignment. Go ahead, not like that. Close your hands up. Throw a ball down. Set up to like you normally do. Let me know when you're ready. Go ahead, set up to it. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to set up to it like you normally would. I want you to take your chin and point it towards the machine while keeping your eye on the ball. Can you do that? Just try to take your chin and point towards this machine right here. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick your head up a little bit and just kind of angle your chin towards the machine. All I'm really asking you to do is tilt your head to the right a little bit and pick your chin up. Okay. All right. Now hold that position for me. All right. Now take your right foot and move it straight back about 3 inches. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Now, down to the ball. All right, that's square. Probably feel closed as can be, but that's square. Now, I need you to back up just a little bit. Back your whole body. Just scoot your whole body back just a little bit. Okay, now step. Now put the club down. Right there. That's the center of the club face. Your tendency, I had a guy in here before you. His tendency is the same, don't you? Line it up in here. Right there. There's the center of the club face. Now, don't fight it. Keep it there. Right there. Okay, keep your chin up. Keep a rip at it. Good. Good. Now trust yourself. Turn through the shot. Don't hold yourself back. It looked like you kind of got through it and you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. And you almost stop your swing. Turn right through the shot. Get right up to a full finish where your chest, your hips, everything's facing straight towards the target. Go ahead. Do it again. You try it on your own this time. Let me know when you're ready because I'm going to check it before you do it. Back up a little bit. Move the club with you. That's the center club right there. Okay. Move your feet back, your right foot back. Good. Now, feel what I do here. I'm moving your shoulders and your hips. Everything's going towards the target a little bit. That's all. All you're doing is facing it out like this. I'm exaggerating. It's out like that. You want to get everything, you want to get like your left ass cheek going towards the target. If you can visualize that. That looks much better. Go ahead. Very good. Very good. Feel that difference? That was a great shot. But again, get a bunch of them. Just keep telling me when you're ready, because I want to check it, and I want you to start to get the feeling. Because I'll adjust you as many times as we need to, but I want you to just kind of learn the feeling and know where you're at. Right, close it up a little bit. Put the ball in the center of the club. Go. Go again. Okay, here's your checklist. Go ahead, set up. First thing first, put the ball in the center of the club. Get away from the heel. I don't want it anywhere near the heel. Okay, now check your alignment. First, you want to start with your feet. Make sure your stance is... In your case, I want you to feel like you're closed a little bit. Because you're so open that you can feel closed, but you're actually square. So feel like your feet are closed. Good. Fly that left foot out. Good. All right. Make sure... No. Like I said, make sure your left ass cheeks kind of towards the target, because that'll help you feel like you'll want to feel like you're closed a little bit, because you're so extremely open that you need to feel closed. Okay. And last thing before you hit any shot, remember this. If you remember anything I told you tonight, get your chin out. Get your chin out towards that monitor. Get it up and out. Because what that's allowing you to do is turn your shoulders. If your chin's down, look, your shoulder's going to bump right into it. Your head starts to move. Then your arms start to move, and you just start to get all discombobulated. What you want to do is you want to just be able to turn freely. If your head's up, you could do that, but when it's down, you can't turn freely. This is one of the biggest moves in the golf swing, in my opinion, because I think if you can't keep your chin up, you can't make a good swing with your body. You have to use your arms, and it just throws inconsistency all over the place. So go ahead, set up to it. First things first, get the ball in the center of the club. Good. Close the stance, in your opinion. Close the stance. That means feet, hips, shoulders, everything. Head up. Now hit it. Good. Good. Okay, go ahead. I'm just going to stand here and watch. And also make sure that ball is in the center of your club, because your tendency is to get it up on the heel. And what's going to happen is, as your swing gets better, if you keep it right on the heel like that, you're going to start shanking the ball. If you start shanking the ball, you're going to quit the game. Because shank's like a virus. You can't stop it because it gets in your head and it just gets crazy. So get that ball right on the sweet spot of the club. Because your shots are going to, as your swing keeps getting better and better, your shots are going to feel so solid when you do hit that sweet spot. All right?
All right.
Go ahead. So I just want to emphasize that and the head thing too. You can get away with a little alignment miscues here and there, but you should feel like you're closed for now. That was pretty good. Go for it. Not bad. Do it again. Head up. Okay, I'm going to throw one more thing on the plate for you too. Don't forget about the shortening of the swing that we did. And you're getting a little long with it now. Remember, like we said, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods only takes about a 3/4 swing. That's all we need you to take. If you're going past your head, you lost control. I want that club kind of sticking up in the air a little bit when you get to the top of your swing. And the only way you're going to do that without messing with your wrist cock or anything like that is by shortening the swing. Meaning, shorten your arm motion at the top and just turn as far as your shoulders are going to let you. Don't let your arms go past where they're supposed to be. Good. All right, I'm going to shut up now. You're just sit up on stuff. Head up. Good. Head up. Right grip the club. Let's see grip. I never did that last week, so we'll go through it. Okay.
How you doing?
Okay.
What are you working on?
I fixed it, his whole body was wide open.
Okay.
Fixed that, and his head's down really bad. We're gonna get into 5-part,
We worked on what last time? What part of it did we work on?
Short and swing a lot.
We didn't do
Okay.
any of the 5-part drill yet.
No.
Okay. And I told you that I wanted you to come today, because there's one part of this that I personally want to show you. Mike's gonna work with you on it, all right? Okay. All right, this is what, you can stand over there. It's gonna be on your table. Make fun of my golf spikes. Okay, you're gonna be in front of your camera. All right. This is what we're gonna work on doing. I want you to take the club back with no wrist cock at all, right? Just moving what we call the triangle. This, this, and this. Ready? No wrist cock, uncock. So when I turn in, the club kind of falls behind. Now that doesn't mean I pick it up. It means it's just that the hands are the last thing to know the body's going that way. No wrist cock, uncock. Okay, so what we're going to do is get your hands out of the swing more. Get a little more body pivot in the swing. In the swing, okay? This is step 1, phase 1. This looks real easy, right? This looks easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the hardest drill you'll ever do. And don't be surprised if you whiff. It's unbelievable how hard this drill is. Now, the next steps, which Mike will work with you with on, what do you get, a Saturday? They'll be much easier, providing you can work this in by then. All right, really, I just want to make sure that you get this, you understand this, before you leave here today. You need to be able to do this, and you need to find a place to practice it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Mike will work with you on it too.
Do you want to try that now?
If you don't mind, could I get that going?
Yeah, go
Then you can go back to what you were doing.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike, try that now.
No wrist cock. No wrist cock. No wrist cock at all. No hand. No hand. It's too far back. Only back to the nipple. No, you're moving the hands. You're picking the club with the hands. Turn the shoulder. Left shoulder only. Turn. No, you're picking the club up with the hands. See? Ready? Don't move your hands. Move this shoulder. That's how Tiger Woods starts a golf swing. Now, turn the body to the target. Turn. And then the club kind of falls behind and goes through. That's the feel. There can be no wrist cock at all on the way back. Don't feel awkward, because every person who ever learns this drill looks like, oh God, he's wasting our time. And then you get up there and you realize this is impossible to do. It isn't impossible, by the way. It's possible. No hand motion at all. Shoulder, calm, turn. No. I don't want you to brush it. I want you to turn. I don't want you to come back to here, up in here. Back here. This is what the nipple's for. Point at the nipple like it's an arrow. Watch. No wrist cock, uncock. Your hands just turn through.
Essentially, what you have to do is keep your grip so light that you can release.
Club will release itself.
You release the club even though you have no wrist cock. If you're squeezing the club like I think you are, you're gonna brush through it every time and you're not gonna get the ball. So you want to take it back really light, and you want to take it back just to this red thing here, and then as you turn through, turning your body through, you just want to grip the club so light that the club falls behind your hands, and you just the ball's just gonna take away your club. Don't try to hit the ball. We might as well work on this now. Just leave the other stuff for you to work on your own, because this is gonna take some time. Nope. I don't wanna see, I don't wanna see this hand, I don't wanna see a flex in that hand like you're trying to start working your wrist cock back. 'Cause that's, right from the get-go, you screwed it up already. You wanna take it back, almost like you're hitting a putt, where you don't break your wrist, you just kinda, you rock the triangle with your putting. Same way, you're hitting a long putt, so you wanna take it back, and then boom. See, watch my hands. Take it back, boom. You're gonna hit the ball with an angle in your wrist, just like that, in your right wrist. Nope. Try to hit it with your hands. You're hitting. Let me in there for a second. Good. Stand over by the. Show my hand stop. Yeah. Watch my hand stop. I'm here, right? How am I gonna get from here to the ball? I'm gonna turn. See how my body's almost all the way through the shot? I only took it to here. All I did was, boom, turn in. And my hands are finishing right here because I'm not putting any extra effort into my hands. Watch it again. Believe it or not, it'll probably help you just to see somebody do it. So I'm taking it to here, right here, and I'm turning. That's it. And you see how the club lags behind my hands or falls behind my hands when I'm coming into the ball? That's because my grip pressure is light. So you want to keep that in mind too. Give it a try. It's not impossible, but it's hard. You can get it. If you can get this, the other 4 of them are simple. Nope. I want to see the hand move. Left hand. Good. Nope. Still trying to brush it. Get to the back of the top of the swing, so to speak, where even though it's all just outside that red thing. Stop when you get to the top. Okay, the end of the swing, as far as this drill is concerned. Just take it. Don't hit me with your club. Okay, good. Keep your eye on the ball. Here's what you're gonna do. Grip's nice and light, right? Okay. Start to pivot into the ball. Shoelace to the target. Turn. That's what's gonna happen. And then that's where you should stop right there. That's where I was stopping. Right here where my foot is. You should be able to stop here. If you can't stop there, the only reason you can't stop there is because you're putting extra effort in through your hands. And if you're doing that, your swing is going to be inconsistent. If you could get yourself to turn your body and let your hands and arms just go along for the ride, you hit good golf shots. Go ahead. A little better. You're still not close yet, though. It was an improvement. If you have to get to the back of your swing or the end of this swing, stop and then start again, do that. And what you want to do is start by turning your hips and getting your shoelaces to the target. You guys did shoelaces to the target in one of the first lessons, right? That's usually one of the first things he does. Unless you had a good body turn. Did he ever tell you that? Shoelaces to the target?
No, but
No? All I mean is take the shoelaces on your right foot and turn them towards the target. That's for people who we get in here. That's the easiest way to explain it for people who don't turn their body through the ball. Okay? So I want you to try that, because you could actually use that a little bit. Get to the back of the swing right here, and turn your shoelaces towards the target. And look where my hand stops, right in front of my body. I'm holding the club, right there. That's where I'm going to stop. Okay? All right. Give it a try. Too far. Again. Cocked your wrist on the backswing, and then you came through too far. No wrist cock. Take it back to the red thing. Stop. Okay. Shoelace to the target. Turn your body. Not too bad. Right again. Now you saw what I did. There's no punch on this ball at all. This is just a very light shot. But what it's training something known as the red zone. This is the red zone of the golf swing. From back here to right here. When your club's going through here, it's got to be square. If it's not square, you're going to suck. It's that simple. Okay? Go ahead. look good up until the point where after you hit it, you went like this. You were good. You were golden up until impact. If you could have stopped your hands right there, you were fine. Because you turned your body through, but you got to here and you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. And you brought your hands up. Stop your hands. So I don't want you to feel any effort with your hands at all. That's what makes this drill possible. If you're not putting any effort forth with your hands, they can release. Release, just like that. Just like when you're waggling the club. You see how the club's falling behind my hand? It's falling behind my hand. It's because there's no pressure in my hand. My hands are nice and soft. And all we're doing here is to the waggle, we're adding shoulder turn. And we're not letting this left wrist break down. Because if you're waggling, you're letting both wrists break down. Left wrist, you keep the structure in the left wrist. Boom. And now you're waggling back through. And you're turning your body. Still too far. Not bad, you cocked your wrist on the way back, though, you cheated. That left wrist on the way back has to be like a board. Flat, and then release it. Flat, release it. It's actually going to look, see how my left wrist is kind of bowed out a little bit? That's what it should look like. And then there's some concavity in the right wrist. And boom, just like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. If I'm confusing you at all, just tell me. Say I don't get that, because I'll explain. I have 1,000,001 ways to explain stuff. So if I say something and you're thinking I don't get what he's talking about, just tell me. So I'll explain it a different way. That's pretty good. You still went too far. Still went too far. That club is going to finish just outside your left shoe. It's not going to finish beyond the mat that you're standing on. All right.
Okay.
Good. Good. I'll do it again. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. Now from that, if you could build on that drill shot right there, now what I want to see is a little more release in the hand, up into the ball. I don't mean any release past the ball, but release from here into the ball. You just looked a little rigid, in other words. Okay? Go ahead. That was much improved. Now turn your body to get back to the ball too. Don't just use your shoulders to get back. Nope. Too much effort. This seems ridiculous, doesn't it? But this is what's going to train your impact zone. And if you can train a good impact zone, the worst you're ever going to shoot is 78, 79. Depends on what kind of short game day you have. So, I mean, you're not going to hit the ball that bad. You're going to be in play all the time. Good. Cheated. There shouldn't be that much wrist action on the back. There's no wrist action on the back. Your wrist is just slightly giving it a push back. Think of a putt. It's a pendulum motion. You're holding a board in between your two hands here. And you don't want to drop that board. You're just kind of going back and forth. The board's sticking straight out. But if you start to move around, there's some friction in there and that board might start to fall out. Alright, get back up there. Don't break the wrists on the way back. Very good. Very good. Now you're allowed to break them on the way in. You're going to get to here, and your right wrist is flat when you get to this point. Now what's going to happen? You're gripping the club. I've got the club in my right hand here, and boom. It's almost like you're trying to hit the ball with the palm of your right hand. You're trying to drive the palm of your right hand into the ball. The way you're doing that, not by pressure from the right hand, you're turning your body. But all that's happening is because your grip is so nice and loose, you're turning, and that is just kind of releasing it because of the torque.